Hey guys, this is Nate and this is the Nader Tater channel. I'm going to show you why I'm throwing my Blink cameras in the trash. Alright, so I've had lots of different cameras over the years. Over a decade I've had different cameras. I have 8 of these Blink mini cameras. And let me go through why after 2 years now with them, I can't stand them any longer. The wife was telling me just today that she hates them and we got to get rid of them. And so I'll show you why I'm having problems with them and what I'm going to replace them with. Now, I have several different brands of cameras that I've messed with and experienced with. My most common ones, honestly, have been my Ring cameras and my Blink cameras. And I'm starting to dislike them more and more as I test out other cameras. And so I've had Reolink, Foscam, and Xsense for doorbell, and then I've also have several Eufy cameras, and the Eufy ones are kind of growing on me. But let me go into the issues I have with Blink, and I'll show you some of these issues. So for me, the reason I got the Blink mini cameras was I wanted something cheap to put indoors so I could keep an eye on the dog, the kids, the house, just in general, if I'm either in a different part of the house or if I'm out and about away from home. And really, my requirements were pretty slim. These are not super resolution, these aren't 2K or anything, or 4K cameras. I wasn't looking for a high frame rate, I wanted some night vision. And these really checked all those boxes. I wanted a simple plug-in. I did not want to deal with batteries, and it has a decent field of view. So those are kind of the good things going for it. And I guess also it does have two-way audio, so it has a little tiny speaker built in, and that does work. Now it's half duplex, which means you can only speak or hear. You can't do both of them at the same time, so it's kind of like a walkie-talkie. But that's kind of common in this class of indoor cameras anyway, so it's not a big deal. But the real problem comes with it just doesn't work. So what I mean by that is the motion detect, even when I have the sensitivity turned way up, it misses a good half of the events. And it's not quick to detect them. So the motion detect really is nearly worthless, and I do not have a subscription, so no cloud storage for me. That might be affecting how good it detects things, because they use the cloud for a lot of the artificial intelligence and for some of that processing. So I'm doing local storage with a Blink Sync module too, and it stores to that stuff, and it really is a disaster from being able to easily use the recorded files. And let me just open up the app and show you what I mean from that. So if you wanted to use it to actually save the files and be able to go and look them back up, it's really difficult, especially with a lot of cameras. So let me just pull that up for you. Okay, so here is my Blink app, and you can see I have lots of different cameras in here. This is not a live thumbnail. This is a thumbnail that you can take, and it just saves that thumbnail. It never updates it unless you hit this little camera icon over to the side. So for example, I'm down here in the basement, and if I want to update the thumbnail here with this little guy looking at me, I can hit that icon and it will update. Well, this is the type of problem I'm having. The reason why it failed is because when I turned it around, it activated the recording, and it can't do two things at once. So it can't update anything when the camera is working. So I mean, look, it just stops. Now I think I can update it. No, these are the problems I have. So this is an Android phone. Maybe the Apple's a little bit better, but I have constant issues with it not working. So now I'm going to try to view it. Let's see. Live view failed. Video stop. These are the types of crap I get from it all the time. Eventually, I'll get it to work. Sometimes I have to force stop the app. Well, yeah, so let me force stop the app. All right, so now I'm reloading the app here. Let's go back down here and see if I can do a live view. Looks like it's going to work this time. Maybe. Alright, there we go. So now I have a live view, but it is very finicky. It hasn't been working well. Alright, there we go. So now I have... That's live. If you could hear that. Finicky, it hasn't been working well. Alright. This is how delayed it is, and it's because it's not actually, you know, going local. If you could hear that, finicky, it hasn't been working well. Alright. This is how delayed it is. Alright, so you get the gist there. I'm going to turn this thing back around so it stops blinking at me. And it constantly messes up. As you can see, it misses, and then it also has a timer where it wants to log you back out as soon as it can. And it's all because whenever it's recording stuff, it is using up Amazon's really server and processing power, because when it does local storage to my sync module, it's actually going out to Amazon to one of their processing, and then it goes back and it gets saved onto the sync module flash drive for later viewing. So that is kind of a hassle there. The other thing with it is when it does detect the motion, especially at night when it clicks on the infrared sensor, but even for the regular recording, it's a fairly loud click. It's definitely noticeable, and you can turn off the LED lights that kick on. I have them on right now, so you can see that blue light is on. But especially when it clicks on the infrared light, it's a loud click, and you know it's kind of loud enough that when it's in the baby's room and she's sleeping, sometimes I worry it actually will wake her up. So that is another downside to it. The other thing here, if I go in here to these saved files, you can see here I have the cloud stuff. And that's just because whenever it sends you a alert and you don't watch it, it actually will save it there briefly for you, that you're able to click on it and watch it one time before it kind of self-destructs. But most of my stuff is saved on my USB flash drive on my sync module, and that's listed here. You can see all these basement ones for me being down here in front of this. And the biggest hassle with it, as you can see here, is the naming and the lack of a thumbnail. So you can't tell what it was that was even in frame. And also, other than on the right side where it tells you the time, in the middle there, you don't really know what this code actually means. And then if you have multiple cameras, like I do, if I want to say, okay, well, I wanted to look at the DIN, for example, in order to find the DIN, I have to go down here and look at that gray text and try to find DIN. You know, there it is, right in the middle of the screen. And then if I want to click on it, and just for the sake of privacy, I won't click on one of those. Let me just click on one of these more recent basement ones. Let's watch how fun it is for this to load. It takes forever. Now, obviously, you can see the writing. It tells you, hey, it takes a little bit longer because it's a USB clip, and again, you're going through the cloud service. So even though my sync module is right over here in my house, it does not connect directly to that. I'm actually going out to the internet to connect to this. So this is literally live. This is how long it will take you to view your one video that all you know about it, well, sometimes it fails to load. So, I mean, this is, to give it a better chance, I'll go a little bit back in time. There we go. This is a shorter clip that it actually loaded okay just recently here. Let's open up one of these other ones just to show you. So you can see that this would not be very helpful, especially if you were actually in a situation where you had a security concern where an intruder was around there, or you were trying to react quickly to a fire alarm alert or burglar alarm alert. You'd be sitting there trying to get this to work, and I mean literally half the time it doesn't work. And just so you know, I mean, I typically on my channel, I'm not bashing products. You know, I try to be fairly positive about it and realize that every product's a little bit different. But this just goes beyond a reasonable level of frustration and updates. And this is not something that has happened just recently. You know, I've been, like I said, I've had these for 2 years, and I've kept thinking that it would get better and better because I got them when they were fairly new coming out with the little mini ones. And I thought with the software updates it would get better and better. It hasn't. In fact, in some ways, I would say it's gotten worse as of late. So that's just kind of my warning to everyone out there is these things really are not worth even the $5 I paid for, because all it does is add frustration to me, and it never seems to work when I want it to work. The other point is only one person can be on these at one time. So just like it can't be recording and you save the settings, you can't update the thumbnail if it's doing any recording, and also you can't log into it when it's doing recording. So if you get push notified that it's recording and you want to try to click on it real quickly, that's when it's the most cantankerous and it will not, work most of the time. Now, I leave mine always armed. Really, they're designed so that you can arm and disarm them. So when you're home, they're not armed, and then it can use things like geofencing for when you leave your home area. It will automatically arm the system and start recording any kind of motion, but it does not work well. So a lot of people will report that, hey, the geofencing doesn't work. It either doesn't stop, it doesn't disarm, or it doesn't arm. And so that feature is another one that doesn't work. So all in all, I have pretty much zero faith that these little cameras will serve me well in a situation that I actually need to rely on them for anything. And then another complaint about them is that there is no website that you can go into. So like, the Ring ones, the Eufy websites, they have websites you can log into and you can view them on your web browser, which sometimes is more convenient than having it on your phone. And also the Blink stuff doesn't allow you to do any kind of your own system, since they don't support any type of protocol that you can use third-party apps to actually connect to them and view or record the footage. So that's my take. I actually just ordered some Eufy indoor cams. Like I said, I have several Eufy outdoor cams. I've been really impressed with their stuff. So I'm actually just ordered some Eufy stuff. I'll get that in here briefly, and then I'll test them out and see how they do. And I'll do a comparison back to back with these little Blink Mini ones. And then I'll have to figure out what I want to do with all these Blink Mini ones that I don't think I'll be using anymore. So thanks for watching. I hope it helps some of you guys out with the decision to buy them or not buy them. And also, if you use these cameras and you don't have any of these problems, let me know. I like to learn from that and see if there's something going on with me. All right, I don't think it's just me though, because my wife has her own phone and app, and it also does the same kind of stuff with her. But I'd love to learn if other people actually have a fantastic experience or have learned something that I'm completely missing here to make this user experience better. Take care.